So, welcome back to the 504 Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, along with
Erica.
and this podcast is brought to you today by us, financing it through our wallets, our pockets, our heart. Support us,
The 504 podcast.
the 504 Podcast, because we all need a little help. So, I'd like to start off with a top five. So, this top five today is we're going to be talking about our top five apps that we use on our phones. So, Erica, I'll let you start. What are the top five apps you use on your phone as she pulls out that iPhone?
Exactly. So it would be Instagram, Facebook.
Here's my question, and not to cut you off. Like, as I was putting down my top five, I said Instagram and Facebook are kind of like the same exact thing. It's like you go on Instagram when you don't want to read, and you go on Facebook when you want to just see more than pictures.
I
So
go on
it's-
Instagram to shop.
You shop on Instagram? How do you
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, people upload their stuff and then you can shop their page.
Wait, I'm sorry. People upload like they're wearing the clothing?
Yeah, like you could shop, like they'll screenshot it. There's this other thing called Like to Know It app.
Like to Know It app.
Yeah, and then that was my third. And then you can shop through there. So like if they're wearing something from Amazon, they would put the link up and then you go to the Like to Know It app.
And these are real people or these are
yeah,
celebrities?
these are just real people.
So
Like,
if I'm-
these
if
are
I'm
like
out-
influencers.
Oh, influencers. Oh, influencers. Got it. So, I mean, I've heard something about influencers on YouTube and such. So, it's not like a regular person. It's not like me on Instagram sporting like Jordans and going like this. Oh, you can buy them from.
No, but you would get credit for it.
Really?
Yeah,
Like what's
they
type
make
of credit?
money. They make money. They'll get a
So,
kickback.
if somebody clicked the link and purchased the sneakers from that link, I get money.
They get like a monthly statement where they'll get a kickback of funds.
I didn't know that. But you have to really be like an influencer for real with a bunch of followers and such.
Yeah, they check out your site. They'll check out your social media pages to see how many followers you have,
It's
and they'll
pretty-
decide if you want to be an influencer.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know, this is probably the generation of you don't have to do anything and find a way to make money.
That's right.
It's so amazing. I mean, people like to say they're Kardashians, but it's like they've made an empire off of it. And then they say, "Oh yeah, but we have makeup and we have this." But I don't know anybody going to the Maybelline aisle looking for what's the one? The Kylie brand. It's crazy. Like I don't know anyone who wears this brand, and I don't know if it's like kids or
I have
who's
the
marketing.
lipstick.
You do?
Yeah.
Who? Which one?
The Kylie brand Jenner or whatever she is.
The Kylie Jenner
Yeah.
lipstick?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is
It
it better than
lasts.
Rihanna's?
No, does she have? Oh no, I've never tried hers.
I think Rihanna's brand is like called Fenty, and like I used to see
Yeah,
her
no,
on
I've
Instagram,
never seen it.
and she was like putting on like 15 coats of
No.
makeup.
No, I don't think they sell the Kylie stuff in the regular store anyway.
Oh, it's like
In Sephora, probably just Ulta.
Ulta.
Yeah,
That's a real place.
Ulta. Yeah,
Ulta,
yeah, it's a beauty store.
Ulta Road.
ULTA. You hear that, Ulta? You should start getting me on your page, and I'll be your influencer affiliate page.
Ulta's like this. Yes, promote me for
That's
free.
a plug. That's a
Promote me for free. Why
plug
don't
for
you?
Ulta.
All right, so you have your three. What are the other two?
Boy, let me see. So I use my library app called Libby. So I can rent books from there for free.
So it's like a library.
Yeah, it's a
okay,
library.
that's cool.
You hook it up with your library card.
Wait, I don't-
You link it to your library card.
Wait. So you think it's your library card and you borrow a make-believe book.
You borrow books.
Why would you borrow it? I don't understand why you would borrow it.
I do audiobooks, so I don't have to buy them.
And you borrow them.
I
Is
borrow
it a
them.
monthly subscription?
Nothing. It's free. It's from the library.
So then why can't you just keep it?
Why would I want to keep it? I want to listen to it and be done with it.
But then you
Borrow
have the
it.
option to delete it afterwards. I don't understand how you're borrowing something that's not physical. That's like me.
But it's an audiobook. See?
But I understand that. But if it's not a physical book, who are you giving it back to? Like, do they only have so many copies of the audiobook that they
Yeah.
can lend out at one time?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to wait.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah, you have to
it
wait.
makes sense now. 'Cause I'm like, there's nothing there.
Yeah, you have,
Who are you
sometimes I have
borrowing
to
it
wait.
from?
I put things on hold. So let's see. I have one more. Let me see. probably. I'm gonna say. I don't know. What is that, 4?
Yeah, you got 4.
I don't know. Probably one of my game apps.
It used to be Candy Crush for me
Oh no. Like
until it started cheating.
Wordscapes.
I think I used to play Wordscapes. Is that the one where the person's like cleaning the house?
No.
Is that the one where it's like you have to make a bunch of words?
Yeah,
and it's
you
like
make a bunch of words.
ton
You
of
hear that,
letters.
Wordscapes?
Shameless
You need to
plug.
be an affiliate.
Wordscapes.
That's
Sponsor
good.
us.
Exactly.
We'll sell out. All right.
so what are
So
yours?
let me do my top 5. So YouTube is probably my most visited app. Love YouTube.
Okay.
Instagram, and I chose Instagram over Facebook. Sometimes you just want to scroll and just see pictures. Sometimes you go on Facebook and like people like put up statuses and you're reading stuff and you go, I don't really care. Oh, it's your birthday? Oh, great. Don't care. Oh, you have 15 pictures of you on your birthday. Don't care. Then I have Netflix
Oh yeah.
because I don't just use it on my phone. I use it on the PlayStation. I got it on my TV, and that's a huge one for me. The podcast app on Apple, I listen to podcasts like on my way to work because most of the music I grew up listening to
Mm-hmm.
is very explicit, and
Oh.
now that you have young kids, you can't listen to the same music, and even if they're not cursing, some of the language that they use is not kid friendly. So I in the mornings I'm listening to the Dave Ramsey podcast. I listen to the Ben Shapiro podcast.
And that's okay in front of your kids?
Dave Ramsey?
Yeah. Who is Dave Ramsey?
Dave Ramsey's like a financial
I
a
thought it was
financial
the other
guy.
you listen to.
You know, this is a financial guy. He talks
Oh,
about
okay.
get out of debt, stop using credit cards, stupid.
Becoming an Instagram influencer.
Did I get to the last one? Oh, and my last app is Spotify, and I only have Spotify for one reason. I listen to the Joe Budden podcast.
That's the one.
That's the only.
And he's not on
No, he
Apple?
used to be on Apple, and then he got to deal with Spotify.
We're not
and
going to talk about that podcast anymore then. Apple.
So that's the only reason why I have Spotify, because he said we're moving to
Oh.
Spotify, and I said I guess I got to download it now because I had Apple Music. Apple Music might be like 5A if you consider it an app. I'm not sure if it's a program or an app. I'm not sure, but Apple Music might actually beat out the podcast app. Honestly,
I like the podcast app.
it's cool. You find a lot there.
I like true crimes.
I have a theory about people who like, and I don't know if true crime is the same thing, but like people who obsess like about serial killers. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh man, I have a theory about all of like, especially like women who like obsess. Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer, the way he just chopped up the bodies and took them off the side of the road. I want to learn more.
Well, not necessarily just serial killers, but just true crimes, unsolved crimes.
Okay, so you're into that, like the whole science behind
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
such. I never wanted to watch it. I'm like, he got away with it? Oh man, it's crazy. I want to see true crimes, Biggie and Tupac's killer. But apparently everybody in the hood knows who it is,
And they won't say.
and they won't say.
That's a long
Listen,
time.
there are theories that I've heard about, not so much Biggie, but about Pac, like as years go down the road, and they'll say like he wasn't the person that everybody thought he was, and I think I heard somebody, I think it might have been Funkmaster Flex, who mentioned that the stuff with the shooting with Biggie, it didn't happen that way, and I think about it and say, wow, I mean, how would you ever know?
Exactly.
It's like everybody has their idea of who the person is, and it wasn't like Instagram was around, and you know how people like right away they pull out their phone and do something. It wasn't there, so you kind of just took everything through song or word of mouth,
So how are they covering that up?
the same way they do everywhere else. Hood know, and we're
They're
not
saying
talking.
Tupac is alive.
I don't think he's
There's
alive.
a guy in Jersey City that looks like him.
I know. I used to see him when he used to come. When I worked at where did we work? When he worked at the Pathmark and I worked at the McDonald's, he would come in. Oh, there's Pac.
Could be.
His wife actually was like a substitute teacher at some point at my mom's job, and I remember when she used to work at Pizza Hut. I'm like, this. Oh shoot, that's Tupac's wife.
So
And he was like, you know, he would come over, give you handshakes and stuff. He's like, yo, you remind me of my little brother. And I said, oh, thank you.
But they were rivals.
Um, from what I hear, and I mean I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. Yes, but not really. It was like a fabrication through Tupac to sell records
Oh.
because things didn't work out the way it was, and Tupac, and this is before my time. Even though I'm in the 30s, I didn't really start listening to hip hop till like '97.
Okay.
So from what I hear, he was all right, and it wasn't until this came about that he became who he was. Where Biggie only had just one album, and he was already the man. So Pac was already out. He had multiple albums out, and Biggie was just one album. And then there's a whole theory that the government killed him because they
Yeah.
were influencers.
They
Ooh,
were.
watch out, YouTube
Oh, I
influencers.
love conspiracy
The
theories.
government's coming.
That'll be our next episode. Conspiracy theories.
So, you watched The Act, right?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
It is crazy. Sickening.
I
Weird.
watched this show, and I'm watching it, and I don't understand why I'm watching this show. And everybody's saying, just watch The Act. Watch The Act. It's good. Watch The Act. And I'm looking at the girl get her head shaved, and she goes, "Oh, hello, I'm Gypsy. Oh, it's so nice." And then the mom, the mother in this show, I'm pretty sure she probably had to take classes of watching the mom. And I'm not gonna do it any justice because my voice is a little straggly. But you ever notice the mom did this the whole show? Oh, like every time she had to speak, oh, like
Yeah.
that's what she would do every time. I'm like, this enough, lady. We get it. You go, oh. And then I'm watching the show, and my favorite character. Who do you think my favorite character was?
The mom across the street, Chloe
No.
Savoni.
I like
Whatever her
Victor.
name
What was
is.
his name? Victor or Nick?
Oh.
He's like this.
Bipolar.
Yeah, he was my
Was he
favorite character.
Multiple personality.
And I
Did you
knew he
see
was my
that?
favorite. I knew he was my favorite character in two scenes. So there's this one scene, and I'm not going to spoil the show, but there's this one scene where they're trying to get together, and she's saying, "You meet my mom. You're gonna come, and you're gonna say
You
this.
sound just like her.
Just when you see me, say this." And it was as simple as a princess should never have to open her own door.
Yes.
And he could not remember it. She goes, "Maybe you should write it down." And then he was still reading it on the way to visit her. And he still messed up the line when he got there. And then my second favorite scene is like, we can be like Bonnie and Clyde. And she goes, "How does the movie end?" And then they're walking later. He goes, "Oh, they die at the end of the movie." She goes, "I don't want to die." Oh, that hurts. Like I find humor in some of the weirdest scenes, and I don't know if that scene was intended to be humorous, and I don't want to laugh at the expense of
I don't think anything is humorous about that show, but it is in
some of the stuff was
weird
hilarious.
way.
Even like, listen, spoiler alert. Sorry, spoiler alert. The one scene after they stab the mom.
Yeah.
And like right away, he just pulls his pants down, like he wants to just do. It's like, oh my gosh, he's insatiable. He was
But he was
insatiable.
mental.
Yes, and I know as the show went on, she probably looked at him and said, "Oh man, I chose poorly."
Yes.
I know she looked at him and said, "I chose poorly."
Yes. It was. Oh. And then how about when they're doing the Facebook updates and he's like, "No, let me write it," and he writes down like what he did to her.
Yeah, and he goes,
he's-
"Did you turn off the location services?" And she goes, "What?" That was bad. I'm like this. Oh, that's how they got caught.
That's how they got caught. Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
then-
So I was out to eat the other night, and it was pretty late. It was about 11 o'clock. You can go to Houlihan's of all places, but it's the only thing that's open at that hour.
I like Houlihan's.
And
They have really good Thai wings.
Yeah.
You like the Thai wings or no?
No, I had just regular chicken fingers. Yeah, they're fine. The food is okay, but this is just like a night of weird oddities that just were going on because we went to see the Kevin James show.
Oh, Doug Heffernan.
Yes.
My eyes are getting
Even that was
weary.
weird. Like just a weird group of people there, just weird. So I went to Houlihan's. So 11 o'clock, and in walks in this lady with like her knee in like one of those braces and a little walking foot. and her.
Wait, like the little scooter thing that you
Yes.
like you wheel your.
Yeah.
So you bend your leg on the little
Yes.
scooter thing.
But she had one where she like actually walked with it.
Okay, got it.
She walks in with like a
Is that the one that people use
around?
around here when sometimes when they're just tired they just sit on it too? Is that the same one?
No.
Does it have like? Is it like it's like this?
No.
And then
this is just one, like for your leg. So they walk in. She clearly just came from the hospital, and I guess her husband.
Wait, you come from the hospital and the first thing you want to do is go to
Eat.
the Kevin. Oh, this is Hula
No,
Hands,
this
not
is
the.
Hula
Okay,
Hands.
this is Hula Hands now.
After. And then I guess her husband or partner or whatever walks in after her. Two clearly unmatched people with his hospital man, and then I guess their child. And he looked like the boy from Jungle Book.
Okay, which Jungle Book are we talking about? Live action? Or are we talking about Mowgli from like the 1990?
No, the new one, I guess. He looked like Jungle Book. He looked like he was raised.
Got it. Okay, not so much specifically
No,
like, but just like unkept.
weird.
Got it.
They were just an odd couple.
Hopefully
to
the
begin with.
lady's not listening now.
Oh boy. So anyway, what happens? They're all ordering food, and she pulls out some jar of what looks like Pedialyte, and she starts with her little syringe pulling the Pedialyte out. And I'm enamored here because I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the mom from The Act. She pulls out a little tube. He picks up his shirt. She puts it in his stomach, and she starts feeding him. He's like, Mommy, that tastes good.
With the Pedialyte?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was medicine or
Oh,
whatever.
it could have been like just.
So I'm thinking, wow, how messed up is that? Here's this couple and their kid. They're getting ready to order burgers and fries and wings and whatever, and this poor kid has to eat through his stomach. Meanwhile, the food comes. He's got a burger and fries right in front of him. So I don't know if it was
Wait, he ate the burger and fries too?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a medicine thing or whatever, but, here with that syringe, filling it up, just like the mom in The Act, just like Dee Dee.
Dee Dee. Oh, I was just.
How about the part where Gypsy Rose gets the tube taken out?
Oh, and
And
this
she
lady
says
just
to
ripped
the
it out?
lady, Can I have it?
See, this is why, like, some things that, like, is. You have to have, like, a dark sense of humor to find some of this stuff funny.
Yes, I think so.
So, you made me think of something. You ever see, like, kids on leashes?
Yeah,
What's your feeling about that?
get a dog.
Because I look and I look when I see kids on leashes, I go, man, that kid must be something else. Like, that kid must be something else if you got to put him on a leash. Now, I don't know to the extent in which your kid would like kind of just dart off or something like that, or whether they have a disability. I would never make fun of a kid with a disability that you kind of have to just, you have to put a leash on them. We had a kid years ago who he had a disability and he would play hide and go seek. But this time he didn't tell anyone he was playing hide and go seek. My mom was freaking out.
He did in his head, probably.
And he was hiding well. And she couldn't find this kid. So if there's an issue of like somebody having a disability, I get having a leash. But sometimes I like stuff like the kids in the leash, the 7-year-old still on the stroller. I mean, like big enough to like when they want to stop, they put their whole foot down and you hear the foot go against the ground. It's
I think that's lazy.
That's the emergency
That's
brake,
lazy.
man.
I don't know. That's lazy parenting. I'll probably be crucified for that one.
But I wonder, like, what is that generation going to be called? The leash generation, the kids that walk on leashes.
Yeah, I walked on a leash. Yeah. No, I don't know.
Because like I'm considered a millennial, and I just found this out maybe 5 years ago that I'm a millennial. So what is their generation going to be called?
What? Yeah, I got to see if I'm a millennial. Probably not.
No, millennial starts at 84.
Oh, so what would I be?
Generation Z or X or Y? I don't know.
Okay. So I don't know. I think the parents that put their kids on a leash they just don't want to deal with their kid. Give them a little leeway, but then yank them back.
I can't imagine
I don't
having
know.
to. I mean, the furthest I'll go is like I'll kind of just put like my hand on my son's head and like kind of
Yeah.
grip his head to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, and he hates it. So now like I'll walk and I'll put my arm around his shoulder. He likes that better. But putting my kid on the leash, man, that's wild.
And they try to make them cute, like a little like a little monkey backpack or a little dog backpack. And, well, it's not really a leash. It's a backpack. No,
It's a backpack.
it's a leash.
That's strapped to them in 3 different
Yes.
locations.
Straps all around front. What's the backpack for? You can't even get into the back of it.
Can you imagine the kid walking down the cereal aisle? Mommy, can I get back over here? You just snatch him by
Like the
leash.
dog one where you get to just like yank it back. And
You just press the little clip button, and it like pulls him in like this, like the cord on the iron.
Yeah.
You press the button,
Yeah.
it goes, and just pulls him back inside. Now, if your kid has a disability, we're not making fun. We're just making fun of the bad kids. So, I think of that, and I just said, wow, I think the first time I ever saw it, it was 1998, and I was at Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what is that, a leash? And for those of you out there who've never seen this leash, it's not a leash. It doesn't go around their neck. It's like a harness,
Yeah.
and it goes around their chest. I wanted to invent something, and then I found out that it was already an invention. I wanted to call it the wireless leash. And what you would do is you put like a bracelet. I thought it was a good idea. You put a bracelet on your kid, and the bracelet's linked to your phone. So if
Yeah.
you're ever at a park and the kid's wearing the bracelet, you know exactly where they are. It'll tell you they're like, you know, like a GPS. Like
Yeah.
your kid
Yeah,
is right
I've
there,
seen
and you
them,
can turn
yes.
the phone and such. And I thought that was a cool idea to invent it. And then I found out somebody else invented it, and I'm like,
There's a lot of different
Man,
things
that
out there like
sucks.
that.
but like if you don't dress your kid uniquely, when they're running around in that park, man, you have that moment of panic.
Yes.
Like, oh shoot, where's my kid? They can be in a little tunnel and you don't see him, and you start freaking out. Now you're looking at everybody. You, guy with no mustache, reading newspaper. Where's my kid? Get out of here. So,
Or you start trying to match up parents with kids to see who
Yeah.
belongs there and who doesn't.
I think sometimes you have to, though.
Of course.
I never felt the need to do it until like a friend of mine said, "Nah, man, you got to do it." Sometimes it's just people at the park, just weird, and they're just there and they're just watching kids. It's like this. Can I help you? Do you need something? Like who are you here with? Why are you
Exactly.
here?
Just
I've
that one
never wanted to
time.
go to a park with a bunch of kids if I don't have a kid. Like, why would I go to the playground area? Some kid ran over my kid with a bike. Oh man, my claws came out. I said, "Where's your parent?" Like ran my kid over, and it made me upset was because there was a sign that said no bikes in the little area.
I would have said, "Come here, Kane. Let me see your bike." Pick it up and threw
Pick
it
his
over
bike
the fence.
over the fence. No, because knowing me, I'll be the one going to jail for
Probably.
assault.
No, I would just leave. I'd run, leave.
So, what are some signs that your spouse/significant other is about to drop a bomb on you? It's the message, like the text message, we have to talk. And I hate that
For
message.
women, that's what they say.
I hate it.
Because they want you to squirm.
Yeah.
They want you to
It's,
sit there and think about, wow, what could it be?
and it's almost not fair because, and this is my one thing that I don't say I like that women do, but this is like, this is one reason why I don't like it, because when you hit me with the I have to talk, in your mind, you've been creating the PowerPoint presentation for at least 2 or 3 days.
That's true.
And you know, and you've
That's
memorized the
true.
slides.
Mm-hmm.
And here I come in the house at like
Yeah, you get
9:30, half asleep.
Blindsided.
And it's like, now this is when you want to talk, and like my defenses are down, I'm tired, I got a headache. No. We need to talk. And it's like, oh my God, what did I do? And it's like the whole time it's like this. Just tell me what I did so I can apologize. And then there's a whole like soliloquy before you get into what the issue is. He's like, I come home and I wash the dishes and I clean up. I'm like this. Oh my God, just get to it. What did I do? Just tell me what I did. So I'll make sure I never do it again. I promise.
Okay, so how does a man do it then? You want to have a conversation with
I
your
don't know, I
significant
just-
other, and it's serious, and so enlighten us.
I just walk in the room and say, can I talk to you? And I just talk to you right then and there. Like just raw, off the chest. But sometimes for me, it's like too raw, because then I'll use the incorrect wording sometimes because I haven't fully thought it through.
Oh,
and then that becomes the
that's
new
it.
argument.
You're done.
Oh,
you are
that
done.
becomes the new argument.
That's the clinger. That's where we cling, and we're like, we're using that.
Because now you just flipped it.
Yep.
What do you mean you don't like this?
Yep, exactly.
So just, well,
And then you're like, what? I didn't say that.
oh yeah, babe, but getting back to the main idea. No,
No.
let's stay right here.
You've just taken a detour.
Oh,
Women are
though.
calculating. This is what we do. We're overthinkers. We play out scenarios in our heads, many different outcomes, so we can be prepared. Well, I do anyway. So we could be prepared for whatever is going to come at us.
I think men are great at, and I mean, I could be generalizing, but I think men are really good at months down the line, where women are good with day to day. So I think men are really good with big pictures, and women are good with the steps to get to the big picture. So that's why sometimes for men, some of the stuff is oblivious about what happened yesterday or the day before
Yeah.
because you're looking so
Okay.
forward into the future, and then women go, now, we need to talk.
Yeah, because the big picture sometimes is overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we need to talk. That's the woman's staple.
That sends like a chill through my spine when it's like I need to talk, and it's like this. Let's talk right now. No, later. It's like always later.
Yeah, you gotta you make them
Man.
sit.
Like when you hear that later word, it's like, oh my goodness, now I gotta figure it out. And everything that you possibly could have done wrong is now going through your mind. Oh, what about this? Did I? Maybe because I said this. And then sometimes you tell on yourself, I'm sorry, I did. And that wasn't even the issue. And she'll go, we'll come back to that in a second, but this is the real issue. Try to apologize in advance. Why don't women accept apologies? Like if you're really, really angry, and the person goes, listen, I'm sorry. I didn't know. It's not good enough. I'm still upset.
Wait, does that come like as soon as she starts talking to you and you realize that you've made a mistake and you just want to say, you know what?
No,
it comes from the heart.
I
Like,
think you should accept the apology whenever the
No, but-
apology is given.
well, it depends. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but
Even if it is slide number 3 of your PowerPoint presentation of
if
20.
she's got this whole long drawn out thing she wants to say, and you realize, you know what? Hey, I made a mistake, and your apology is sincere. It's almost like you blindsided her now. So she can be like, no, I'm not accepting it until I'm done talking.
That's not fair.
No, it's not.
That's not fair.
It's not. I've learned to say,
Now
okay.
you just got a bone to pick.
Because then
You
you're
get
just
it off your
like,
chest.
then all of that stuff you planned for to say is like out the window, and you're like, oh, that's a waste of time. But you have to, I think you have to accept it if you want to, of course. But if it's a true, sincere apology and, you know, your plan was to get through the entire alphabet and he stops you at C, then I think you really need to own up to it and
You just gotta
move
eat
forward.
it. Like sometimes you just don't want to argue. It's like this, whatever you want.
yeah,
I
but
promise I
do
won't
you
do it again.
apologize for that reason?
That you don't want to argue?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. It's like sometimes it's like I don't know what to do. Sometimes it's like I just won't say anything, and then I've learned that pisses the woman off more. Like if you just sit there and just don't say anything, you have nothing to say, and I'm like, well, if I say something, you're gonna create another question to ask me, so I really don't want to say anything because then you're gonna find something about what I said there, and you're gonna create argument page C section -14B _ hashtag because of I may or may not say something that you like. And why do women choose to argue at night? Oh, it's the worst. Nobody wants to argue at 11:30.
When do you argue then? When do you have discussions? I don't know.
I don't know, like
I don't know if there's
I've
an
spoken to
appropriate
someone.
time.
I've spoken to someone, and why not argue at a time when nobody's angry?
I agree with that 100% because then you're not going to say hurtful things. You know, you're just.
Yeah.
I think you're more of a rational mind, and sometimes, you see, for women, we can't just say, "Let's talk about this tomorrow," because it seems dismissive. Like like the guy is dismissing you or whatever, saying, you know, you're not. Your words aren't worthy enough, but I think if you table it for another day and come back to it when you're both clear-headed and not hurting,
That's cute.
It makes-
Table it.
it makes
Table
more
it. I've
sense.
never heard that word
cute.
in my relationship. Let's table it and come back to it another day.
but but then it has to be addressed, and you know, I think it should be addressed by the person who tables it.
Let me ask you this. Let's suppose I have an issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you respect the people who then bring up their issues because you have an issue?
No.
I hate that.
I hate it.
You can't now bring up whatever was bothering you because I have an issue with what's bothering me right
I
now.
know.
You got to eat it.
Exactly.
Bring it up tomorrow.
Well, yeah, you
Or,
can't.
or
It's
a
not
week
fair.
from now. You can't do that.
It's not fair. It's not like tit for tat. Not tit for tat.
It's like this. No, that's not fair. You can't bring up the thing that I did now. I'm angry about this.
Because you're trying to deflect. Because all of a sudden you're like, well, you did X, Y, and Z, and you hurt my feelings. When? That was 3 weeks ago. Oh, yeah? Too bad. You didn't say it then. It must your hurt feelings must have been that hurt.
So, do you think that is healthy to have like a time in general in a relationship to just kind of just let's sit down and hash out things that may be bothering us?
No. No. Who wants to look forward to that? I think if there's an issue, you address it when, like we said, just when you're not angry. Like, you know, something really bothers you, I think it should be like, I don't know.
Not that like I'll give you this example. Sometimes in order to leave your comfort zone, you gotta get uncomfortable. And sometimes you have to just say, hey, listen, I don't want to start an argument, but, this bothered me.
That's fine.
And then you have like a realistic conversation about it.
That's fine. But I don't think there should be like a scheduled time.
Well, maybe I don't know. And I just play around with ideas and try to figure things out as far as like how can you do it in a way where the other person doesn't get defensive and you're not trying to argue. You just really want to just bring clarity and growth to a relationship and create communication in the process. Because I think we have a lot of. I'll just get over it, or I'll go have a beer.
When I know that day is arriving, I'm going to be like, oh, my God.
Well, it depends. If you don't have any issues.
Yeah, there's always issues. There's always issues. Because then you're going to start finding issues. You're going to be like, I don't like the way you spit your toothpaste out this morning.
Not like that. I mean, like.
It's going to get nitpicky and petty.
But spitting your toothpaste out is an issue that you can say, hey, you left toothpaste in the sink.
Yeah, and you repeatedly do it, it's going to become an issue.
And then on that day, you say, hey, listen, I've told you a bunch of times about the toothpaste.
And then I don't know about having a designated day.
I used to date this girl who would, like, wash her panties in the sink and then leave them hanging all over my bedroom. And I'm like this, come on. What is with this? I never understood it. I'm like, I take off my underwear and I just put it in the dirty clothes and then I wash all my underwear at the one time. Why are you washing out that one pair? Here's my question. So, I've learned that there are women, and I'm not sure all women, I don't want to generalize, that will wear a bra multiple days in a row.
That's what I've heard. I do not.
Why is that acceptable? I can't wear socks multiple days. I can't wear underwear. I can't wear T-shirts multiple days.
Because you're supposed to hand wash your bras to keep to keep it the shape of it and everything. So if you wear it once, you're obviously washing it more than you should.
But like, cause I've seen people, like, not seen people, but like I've heard like women will say, no, because they're expensive, so I can't swap them out.
So I just buy new ones.
I have nice underwear and I have not nice underwear. I'm not gonna wear the same underwear twice because my underwear is more expensive.
My friends make fun of me because I have certain underwear for certain occasions.
You don't just randomly just pull. Well, women is different because your underwear is based upon what your outfit is. What your outfit is going to be.
No, I have certain underwear I wear to bed, just to bed.
Just to bed.
Just to bed. I have certain underwear I wear
it's
just
not the
on the
weekend.
weekend.
All day.
No. I change it.
You change underwear to go to sleep.
Yes, it's my granny panties.
I'm so confused right now.
And then I have certain bras I wear that,
Well, because I can see
bras.
because maybe it's more like comfortable.
Yeah.
And other ones are presentable.
Yeah. So I have if I'm just like hanging around on the weekends, I got certain weekend underwear.
It's like there's like the weekend underwear, the weekend sweatpants.
Yes.
Maybe I don't know.
So I have like 4 drawers of underwear and bras.
4?
Well, they're little ones. They're little like 12 by 12 drawers.
Oh, okay, like the little what is it? Like the little like nightstand
drawer
size.
But my friends, my women friends think that's odd. They're like, don't you have like 4 bras and 4 pairs of underwear? I'm like, no.
That is a little odd, Erica.
Many.
That is a little odd.
No.
That's a little odd.
I don't care.
So let me understand this. Do you shower when you get home or something like that?
No. No,
Because
shower in the morning.
I can see, like, if you shower and then just put on your sleep underwear, and then,
No.
like, when you got dressed, you took off your sleep underwear and put on regular underwear.
Shower in the morning.
So you literally have underwear to just sleep in.
Yes.
That's wild. I don't know. Make sure you follow the 504 Podcast on Instagram. It's called The 504 Podcast. Leave your comments, leave your thoughts. What are some topics you want us to discuss? Is Erica weird? Am I being judgmental? But make sure you follow us up there. I got to make sure we keep promoting that.
Okay.
All right. Let's start wrapping it up. Anything you want to
No.
address out there? There's a really cool song that just came out. It's a Drake and Chris Brown song.
Haven't
It's called
heard it.
You Got It. It's a tough little song, and it's so wild because they at one point didn't particularly care for each other. All over a woman who,
that's right, yeah.
doesn't want either of them.
Well,
Who's
that's
like
what
on the
happens,
queen of the
right?
world. We have to get into one day speaking about women who have like impacted like great men, societies, cultures, because there's some out there.
Yeah.
Because they say, oh, it's a man's world. I'm like this.
No,
I don't
really,
know.
I don't think so.
Because there's a lot of men who make decisions based upon women and how to get women. So it might be a woman's world.
It might be.
And then I want to get into like women in. I want to have like a feminist up here, and not like one of the, I don't want to say angry feminists, but like a feminist who can give me like another point of view. Because I grew up in a house with a mom and a grandmother, and it was me. So like I didn't see it as a man's world. It was like this. Oh, he a crackhead, and he's a drunk, and my grandmother has a job, and my mom had a job, and we were fine, and it didn't require a man.
Yeah, I'd
And
like to have that on the show too.
I think if
I
anything,
need to.
it's a who knows who type of world, as opposed to a man
I
and woman. I
agree.
don't think
I
that
agree.
there's a situation where I don't want to know. I'm not that I don't want to know, but I mean, maybe in Hollywood, different things where they get to offer you different money, but I can't see a lot of men making more money than Beyonce or Rihanna or Ariana Grande,
Yeah, I don't know.
and they're at the top of their games. I mean, like top of their games. I mean, maybe Drake, but he's like a super mega star. But they're also super mega stars. Like if somebody told me that Drake made more than Beyonce, I would go, I can see that. And if somebody told me that Beyonce made more than Drake, I can go, I can see that also.
I just can't believe Drake came from Degrassi High.
I've never seen that show. I've never seen that show.
He was good.
I did see like when they used to do clips on Instagram. There's one clip of him in like he's in the school standing up, and then some guy pulls out a gun and he's running and then shoots him, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh shit, he's in a wheelchair.
He's in a wheelchair. Yeah.
Was it Wheelchair Jimmy?
Yeah.
I did see there was like
Yeah.
his concert years ago. And Drake, if you're ever listening, you're one of my favorite artists. But a concert he had years ago, he was on stage and he just slipped and fell, and like busted his knee.
He became Wheelchair Jimmy again.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. He became Wheelchair Jimmy again.
Oh boy, Degrassi High.
This was a mild winter, and I was so afraid because I got a car, and I'm so used to having a truck, and I'm like, oh man, I'm passing up on the all-wheel drive, and what if I get stuck in the snow? But now that I don't live in the inner city, like I don't live in Jersey City anymore, and I've moved out, it's like, wow, I have a driveway, and if it's snowing, who cares? Like, I used to be miserable whenever we had a snow day because I would shovel out my car and leave, and when I come back, Keisha's in my spot. And Keisha wasn't there last night, so Keisha just got a free spot. And then now, and this is because I had a Honda Civic at the time, I'm trying to plow into another spot. I'm crooked. And I hated it. I hated it. When I used to live on Fulton, I hated it so much. Because I wouldn't want to leave. I would never leave. I would leave my car there. I wouldn't take my car. I'd catch a bus.
I don't like
Because I was so afraid that someone was going to take my parking spot afterwards. When I lived on Mina, a little older Italian couple, they shoveled out a spot.
Yeah.
And I shoveled out my spot. And these girls that lived across the street, when I came back home, they took my spot. So I just took the next available spot. Do you know they put cones in their spot the next day?
I bet.
What's your thoughts on that? Should they be allowed to put cones in their spot?
No, it's not their property.
It's a free fall?
Not their property.
It's a free fall?
My neighbor told me I was unneighborly because I park in front of his house. Not even during a snowstorm.
Just in
Any
general?
given day, I park in front of his house.
Why not park in front of your house? I wouldn't like that also. It's like, oh, come on, get over fucking
Well,
from your house.
first of all, he has 2 spots in front of his house, and I don't hoard the 2 spots. I park closer to my driveway, and I made it a point to show him that across the street there's 2 driveways that come out, that will back out into the front of my house. So if you park there, you're going to get hit. So not only does it, put
Your
my
block doesn't seem that narrow, but I've only
it
been
is
there
very
once
narrow.
or
It should only be a
twice.
one-way. So, he proceeded to tell me how unneighborly I was. And then as I'm speaking, he turns his snowblower back on and starts walking away, which sent me into a little, I started to get a little crazy, but, I held back.
Sir, 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 sir. You
no.
didn't sir him to death. Excuse me, sir,
No,
sir.
so now we don't talk, we don't look at each other. And then one day his daughter's hula hoop in my yard, and Maeve said, "Oh, Mommy, I just threw it back to them because I'm not holding a grudge like you."
Aw,
I said, "You should have threw it down the block, down the other way."
I'd have tried to shove it down the
I
sewer.
said, "You could throw it the other way."
It would have been down there playing with that sewer.
I would have taken that hula hoop and said, "Oh, do you want this hula hoop thing the other way?"
Well, I'll give you unneighborly. So when I lived on Fulton, it was an apartment building. We had a driveway. So let's say the building's here, the driveway's on the side of the building like this. When I would come out to shovel my car, let's say at 10 o'clock, everyone had already shoveled out their car and would make a big pile of snow behind my car in the driveway. And I would be hot every year. Every year I'd be hot. Because I'm like this. There was no other place you could put the snow. And that's nothing. Where do you put the snow? When you shovel out snow, and I don't know how it works in your neighborhood, because
I throw it on my neighbor's front lawn.
But even with that, it doesn't impact his life in the slightest.
No, I throw it on my lawn, put it in the street, because they come down and they shovel it.
But they push it right back out to where the cars go.
Nobody parks on the street in the snow.
Oh, and because that was my question. I remember speaking to somebody because I shoveled out my truck and I said, all right, I'm going to make a nice big pile, and I'm not going to disturb anybody. And then there was a lady who she was shoveling out the sidewalk in front of her house, and what she did was she threw it in front of my car. And I'm like, come on, why would you do that? This, for those of you listening in other places, inner city sucks when it snows. For those of you like in Florida or Texas or something like that, and it doesn't snow, snow sucks. It's beautiful for a day. After that, it turns gray, brown, yellow. It's disgusting.
Yes.
And then it hardens into ice.
Yes.
And it's disgusting, and it slows everything down as far as getting to work. And you're praying for rain to kind of melt the snow, and then praying that it doesn't turn into ice later that night. And we got what you call black ice. It's invisible. You ever hit a package of black ice?
Skidding down your street. Yeah.
I slid down Danforth from the patch of black ice. I'm going down. You know how Danforth is like the hill?
Yeah.
So I'm going down, and I'm probably going about 20. All-wheel drive is on. This is when I thought having a truck was making me invincible. And we're going to wrap it up after this. I see you looking at the time.
No, I'm looking at making sure it's still recording.
Oh, it's still recording? Hey, we out there?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm sliding down, and I'm going down. I'm doing 20 down Danforth, and the car was maybe 10 car lengths ahead of me. Decided to double park.
Oh my God.
So I hit the brake.
Yeah.
And I never stopped.
Yep. What do you do?
So what I understand now about braking and what I understood then about braking are two different things. So in my mind, the auto-lock brake system is constantly pumping the brakes and allowing the tires to roll and stop and roll. I don't know what was happening, but it wasn't happening in that case, and I kept sliding. And not only was I sliding, I was now going faster because I was going down the hill.
Yeah.
So the only thing I could do was I had to turn the wheel one way to get my back going one way, and then I had to go the other way, and then I turned it again, and I was able to kind of just go around the car like Tokyo Drift. It was scary, but now I know to actually as I'm braking and it's the anti-lock brake system is kicking in, take my foot off the brake, let the tires roll again, and then try and brake again to try to reestablish the grip.
Thinking.
It is too much. It is a lot of thinking, but you got to do it.
I remember
Otherwise,
one
you'll
time-
crash.
I'm probably 17 or 18 driving my father's Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
And
Wait. Is a Thunderbird the car from Short Circuit? That the guy from...
I don't know.
I'll bring it up. Go ahead.
And it was raining out, and I hydroplaned. And I stopped in enough time not to hit the divider.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, phew, thank God, because, how am I going to explain that one, So meanwhile, my tires are turned to the left, and I'm like inches away from the divider. What do? Not realizing that I need to like back up or turn my tires straight, I hit the gas.
You're probably nervous. Oh, this is a Pontiac Firebird. That car right there.
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird. I know it's something with a bird.
A bird.
But that was a car right there from Short Circuit. Do you know the guy from Short Circuit wasn't even Indian?
What is he?
He's white. He's a white guy. See, I'm going to bring him up. Short Circuit actor. And he used to do the Indian.
Yeah.
I thought he was Indian. It's a white guy. Him. It's a white guy.
Oh.
It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did it really well.
There's a good show on Netflix. It's called Ramy. Ramy. It's
Never heard of it.
hysterical. I think it's on regular TV. Don't the shows usually come on regular TV first, then put them on Netflix?
It all depends unless it's a Netflix original.
Well, I don't think it is. But he's a young Muslim growing up in New Jersey, trying to find himself. I couldn't stop laughing.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen it on Hulu.
Oh, Hulu?
I think I've seen it on Hulu.
I think it is Hulu.
Yeah. One movie I watched about a Muslim girl called Towel Head. It freaked me out, man.
Towel Head?
Towel Head. It's about this young Muslim girl. Dad's Muslim, but mom isn't. Mom's like American, and she goes to stay with dad. And it was like just real inappropriate exchanges with this girl and men. Like the movie opens with, and she's probably like 15 in the movie. In real life, she's like an adult, but in the movie, she's 15. And I guess she was growing hair down there. And the guy says, "Oh, I'll show you how to shave." And this is the mom's boyfriend. And then the mom, found out that the boyfriend shaved her down there, and mom kicked the daughter out. And she went to go live with the dad, who was like straight Muslim. We don't play this nonsense. And she wound up living across the street from a guy who spent the rest of the movie trying to seduce her and sleep with her. And he eventually succeeds. And you're like wow, like this is really wild.
I've never heard of it.
This is when I think I was in college when I saw this movie, and I said, wow, this is a wild movie, man. It made me say, I got to watch my daughter.
Of course.
It's like, as a dad, I have 2 jobs for my daughter. Keep her off of the pole and keep her off of Love and Hip Hop. If I can accomplish those 2 things, I think I'll be all right.
Oh, my God, you're funny.
All right, so we're going to call it today. Thank you so much for coming out and listening. This is the 504 Podcast. I'm Mark.
Be sure to follow us, America.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram at the 504 Podcast. That's THE, the number 504, and podcast.